searching for James Thomas.
A Quiet Place Day One is a 2024 apocalyptic horror film written and directed by Michael Sarnowski. It's the first one in the franchise not directed by John Krasinski. It's a prequel. He's one of the producers, though, I believe. It's a prequel film. As the title suggests, it takes place entirely during day one of the creatures arriving, and it's in New York.
Yes.
New York City.
I really like the first one. I really like the second one, but after watching this one, I think that this one is better than the second one.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you say, is it worse than the first one?
No.
Or, like, how do you rank them, actually, is what I'm trying to say.
I think this one was my favorite character-wise. But then, like, the first one is, like, the first of any movie series, it's, like, you're introduced to, like, new ideas, so, like, that's cool. The second one, though, we talk about it all the time, but, like, I can't get past the fact that the people on the island in the second one didn't have a plan.
They didn't have a monster backup plan.
Yeah, like, how do you not have a monster backup plan? Was no one with anxiety on that island? Like, that's kind of crazy.
Especially at that point, they've been there for, like, a year and a half.
And they, like, had a civilization. Like, they had shit, like, set up. And they just, like, never thought, like, oh, let's have, like, an emergency system.
Yeah, no, I do appreciate how all these movies are pretty small scale in terms of, like, thus far we have not had like a movie where it's like the perspective of like the military or something, you know?
Right, because I don't give a fuck about that.
Exactly, like what's like the big scale? Like we only know what our characters that we're following know.
Yeah.
And that does really help, especially in this movie we're talking about today. That really helps with a lot of the tension because like we never we hear the helicopters overhead, like, making announcements, but we never, like, switch the perspective of the pilots.
Which, like, I prefer. Military. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't give a fuck about any of the infrastructure stuff.
Exactly.
Especially because in my mind, the aliens are quite simple in this series. Like, I don't need... It's not like Alien, right? Where I, like, want to know more about their life cycle and shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Because it's literally just, like, weird Demogorgon things that can't see but can hear really well and they can't swim. That's all I need to know about them.
Yeah.
I'm, like, fine to not know anything else.
Yeah.
And just, like, get, like, the individual snapshot points of view from, like, just a couple of people.
Yeah. It's very much not really important what the aliens are doing, at least in the stories that they're trying to tell here. As far as like, I think a big part of it is because of how fucking dangerous and how unsafe this particular apocalypse is.
Yeah.
As far as like, there's just because we watch a lot of movies like apocalypse movies where like there are creatures like, oh, we've been watching Walking Dead lately, and it's like you can survive the Walking Dead monsters.
Right. Like you just like board up a house and like try not to like lure them with like car alarms, but otherwise you're fine. Versus this universe, like you literally can't even talk in a normal volume.
Yeah, no, you're just fucked if you accidentally knock over if you do this.
Yeah,
you know?
And you would never be able to survive this universe.
Not even close. Not even. I knock shit over. I'm loud.
You snore like
I snore loud. Fucking yeah. All the snorers in this universe are fucking. That's the first thing to go. Like if you're snore, you're fuck. It would be so. It'd be funny if there was one person like, thank God I got my deviated septum fixed right before this happened.
Right.
For me personally, ranking them right now, it goes A Quiet Place 1 is the best one for me, and then this one, and then 2, which I don't dislike 2, but 2 definitely has a lot of plot holes and imbalances.
Yeah.
Like, this one is. Oh, I also wanted to ask you, do you think the first 2 movies are essential viewings for this one, or if you've not seen either of the other Quiet Places, could you come into this one cold?
I think you could come into this one cold because the military helicopters that say like shut the fuck up and go, then the creatures can't swim and go to the boats. That tells you all you need to know about the creatures. I think if you haven't seen any of them and you want a little bit of background, you at least should do 1, but I don't think you even need to do 2 at all. 2, if you watch the second one, then you get like the Easter egg of Henry being there in this one, but other than that, like I don't feel like it's necessary viewing. Do you feel like it is?
No, not really. Yeah, I agree.
I like that they stand alone.
The police are searching for James Thomas.